Consider this. The most magnetic quality you can project to a woman has nothing to do with money, looks, or social rank. It is rooted entirely in your presence, in the way you carry yourself. Many men overlook this subtle truth. They spend years chasing attention with gifts, compliments, or accomplishments, then wonder why the spark never ignites, or why she does not look at them with real desire. Perhaps you have felt this yourself. You try to impress, to prove your worth, yet deep down, you realize something feels off, as if the harder you push, the further she drifts. The reality is that genuine attraction is not created through effort or constant validation. It arises from something far quieter, yet far more powerful. The secret lies in embodying a quality she can sense without a word. A presence so natural and distinctly masculine that it reshapes her perception immediately. The ancient Stoics understood this long before modern psychology put it into words. They saw that composure, inner strength, and mastery over oneself radiate energy that draws others naturally. A woman feels this energy, responding to the man who inhabits his power calmly, rather than the man who strains to show it. In this discussion, I will explore the central masculine trait that consistently captivates women, along with 5 practical ways to cultivate it in your daily life. Once you grasp this, the endless need to chase, persuade, or prove yourself disappears. She will sense your presence without you having to announce it. Let us dive in. First, stop apologizing unnecessarily. Many men fall into this habit. This isn't about genuine apologies when you've hurt someone or overstepped a boundary. It's about the constant, reflexive sorry for simply speaking, sharing your opinion, or existing in a space. Here's the essential insight. Over-apologizing does not make you kind. It signals insecurity. Nothing undermines attraction faster than projecting weakness. Consider a man who repeatedly asks, "Is this okay?" or says, "Sorry to interrupt." Each apology communicates a sense of low self-worth. It suggests that your presence is a burden and that you require validation. Women rarely feel desire for that energy. They may tolerate it or even exploit it, but it does not draw them closer. Picture a scenario. Alex, 28, from Chicago, is accomplished, fit, and has a great sense of humor. Yet, whenever he engages with women, he apologizes excessively. At a casual brunch, his date offers him a pastry. He responds, "Oh, sorry, I shouldn't indulge." While discussing a movie, he adds, "Sorry if that's a dumb take." By the end of the outing, his kindness is overshadowed by uncertainty, which reads as weakness. Compare this to Leah, 26, from Boston, someone Alex dated briefly. She later told her friends that while Alex was nice, there was no spark. His constant effort to appease and walk on eggshells made him seem unconfident. That kind of energy doesn't invite connection, it shifts the dynamic so she feels compelled to lead. Women are drawn to grounded presence, not habitual apologies. The Stoics understood this principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Dwell no longer on the nature of a good man, but be one," applied here. It means embody your own value rather than diminishing it with constant regret. This doesn't mean you should be aggressive or avoid accountability. True strength is about taking responsibility, not perpetual contrition. Saying, "I made a mistake, and I'll fix it," commands respect. Constantly saying, "Sorry for existing," does the opposite. Begin by cultivating awareness. Whenever sorry is about to slip out for something trivial like asking a question or simply taking up space, replace it with a confident alternative. Instead of, sorry I'm late, say, thank you for your patience. Rather than, sorry to bother you, try, do you have a moment? Small shifts like these change the energy profoundly. When you stop apologizing for your existence, the transformation is noticeable. Women may not explicitly comment, but they sense it. You radiate calm, confidence, and grounded masculinity, the qualities that naturally attract. Take ownership. Mentally affirm, I own my space. Let it anchor your presence. In the next discussion, we'll explore a concept that goes beyond words and touches the deeper dynamics of attraction and connection. The second principle is simple. Lead, do not chase. Chasing women is one of the most common mistakes men make. It looks familiar, always sending the first text, arranging every meeting, trying to convince her to spend time with you. The harder you chase, the faster she tends to pull away. Paradoxically, women are not biologically drawn to pursuit, they are drawn to leadership. Pursuit springs from insecurity, the belief that you must prove your worth to earn her attention. Leadership comes from confidence and self-assurance. Leading communicates a quiet strength. I know my value. I invite you into my world, but my life does not depend on your acceptance. That subtle shift transforms the dynamic. Chasing hands control over to her. You react to her emotions, letting her set the pace and the terms. Leading, by contrast, aligns with your natural masculine energy. You determine the direction, establish the structure, and welcome her to participate. Women respond to this with respect and genuine attraction. The goal is clarity, not domination. The Stoics recognized this principle. Epictetus said, "A man cannot be free until he is his own master." When you chase, you surrender self. Your mood and sense of worth hinge on someone else's approval. When you lead, you maintain equilibrium. You show the ability to act decisively, create momentum, and invite participation on your terms. This is magnetic energy. Leadership is not aggression or arrogance. It is calm, deliberate initiative. Instead of repeatedly asking to spend time together, offer a clear plan. I'll be at this new gallery on Thursday at 8. You're welcome to join. This is an invitation, not a plea. Your plans remain intact regardless of her answer. Acceptance means she steps into your world, not the other way around. This approach cultivates attraction naturally. Women do not fantasize about men who beg for attention. They are drawn to men who are composed, purposeful, and self-possessed. Leadership provides safety through centered energy and excitement through intentional direction. It extends beyond logistics. It includes emotional guidance. When she displays emotional turbulence or challenges you, remain steady. Do not be pulled into chaos. Set the tone calmly, showing that her fluctuations do not destabilize you. This is leadership in action. Shift your thinking from, how do I get her to like me? To, how can she join the life I am already leading? The perspective changes from scarcity to abundance. You are no longer seeking validation. You are guiding with intention. The next time you feel the urge to chase, pause. Ask yourself, am I leading or reacting? If you are reacting, reset. Women notice. They may not articulate it, but they can feel the difference between a man who leads and a boy who chases. To commit to this principle, comment with, I lead my life. Let it mark your pledge to step out of pursuit Stay with me, because the next lesson will transform your understanding of attraction. It moves beyond logic into the emotional, primal currents that drive desire. Point 3 is this: attraction must be free from neediness. Many men overlook a simple truth: neediness destroys attraction faster than almost anything else. When you appear desperate, constantly checking messages, overanalyzing her texts, or bending over backward to keep her interested, you are not creating connection. You are suffocating it. A woman can sense neediness instantly. The moment she feels your desire for her outweighs your independence, all mystique vanishes. True attraction thrives in freedom, not pressure. When you are self-assured and not dependent on her approval, she naturally becomes intrigued. This reflects a core Stoic principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The value of a man is no more than the value of his ambitions." If your sole goal is to win her over, you diminish your own value. But when your ambitions are rooted in growth, creativity, and a fulfilling life, that energy radiates effortlessly. Women notice. Consider a practical example. Noah, a 29-year-old software designer in Seattle, began dating Claire, 27, a marketing professional. At first, their connection seemed promising, but Noah quickly fell into neediness. When Claire took a few hours to reply, he sent messages like, "Did you see my text?" or "Are you busy?" On dates, he sought constant reassurance, asking if she was having fun, if she liked him, or whether future plans were likely. What he intended as interest came across as pressure, and the effect was immediate. Claire's attraction faded, and she eventually pulled away. Noah then shifted his approach. He stopped centering his life around Claire and focused on his passions: design projects, fitness, and friendships. When he interacted with women afterward, his energy was composed and self-sufficient. Claire noticed the change and re-engaged, intrigued by his transformation. The lesson is clear. The man who does not require her validation is the man she wants to be around. Women are drawn not to men who treat them as the centerpiece of their lives, but to men who are whole on their own, for whom she is an addition, not a necessity. This is the magnetic power of genuine confidence. It communicates, "I would enjoy your presence, but my happiness does not depend on it." To adopt this mindset, start by noticing impulses to over-message or justify your worth. Pause and reflect. Ask yourself, am I acting from desire or from a need for approval? Acting from desire is inviting. Acting from neediness repels. The reality is that when women pursue men who appear detached, it is not because they seek indifference, it is because those men demonstrate that their identity is independent. That self-reliance fuels attraction. To solidify this principle, affirm it. Comment, "I need nothing." This becomes a personal reminder that your allure stems from strength, not dependency. Stay tuned, as the next concept will build on this foundation, showing you how to project energy that speaks louder than words, evoking a visceral response. Point 4 is this: cultivate interest. Do not chase approval. A common mistake men make is assuming that gaining a woman's approval will automatically create attraction. They believe that if she laughs at their jokes, compliments their appearance, or affirms their value, desire will follow. This is a misconception. Approval is superficial, while genuine attraction stems from a deeper source. Seeking approval is essentially asking, "Am I enough?" It places your sense of worth in her hands, waiting for her affirmation before feeling desirable. Creating interest is different. It is an invitation into your world. Your stance becomes, "This is who I am." You are welcome to keep pace. Unlike the pursuit of approval, which pushes women away, generating interest draws them in. The Stoics understood the importance of authenticity. Epictetus said, "To make progress, one must be willing to be seen as a fool." Living to please others removes authenticity. An attraction thrives on genuine presence. Approval can be given politely, but it does not ignite desire. Consider a man who adjusts his behavior constantly based on her reactions. If she seems indifferent, he overcompensates with jokes, anecdotes, or extra attentions, hoping to earn her favor. In contrast, a man who generates interest does not seek validation. His curiosity, lightheartedness, and spontaneous energy are invitations, not pleas. He crafts experiences that naturally draw her toward him. Many men are puzzled when a woman laughs at their humor, calls them nice, and still loses interest. The reason is simple. She granted approval, not fascination. Approval is neutral. It does not linger in her thoughts or spark desire. Interest does. The key to cultivating interest lies in your presence. Show genuine curiosity about her, not to impress, but because it reflects your confidence and willingness to engage authentically. Use silence strategically. Allow pauses in conversation and notice her reaction when you are not attempting to earn her approval. Attraction thrives in mystery, tension, and contrast. Predictability and the constant quest for affirmation kill it. The Stoics valued independence from external validation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The views of 10,000 individuals are meaningless if they are all uninformed." In relationships, this means your worth should never depend on her fleeting opinion. Become a man whose value is intrinsic, not contingent on external approval. Ironically, the moment you stop chasing validation, interest begins to flourish naturally. Moving from self-doubt to self-assertion establishes a space where desire can emerge. Women respond not to submission, but to presence as strong, secure energy that radiates confidence without need. To commit to this principle, affirm it publicly. Comment, "I choose interest." This signals your intention to abandon the chase for approval and embrace an energy that naturally attracts. Stay tuned, because the next lesson explores a concept that transcends words, subtle, unseen signal capable of influencing her response before a single word is spoken. Point 5 is this: the power of calm desire. Many men imagine attraction as requiring loud energy, grand gestures, or relentless pursuit. They assume desire must blaze like an uncontrollable fire. The reality is different. Women are drawn to composed, desire a presence that conveys interest without turbulence and attraction without neediness. This calm energy is compelling because it signals self-control. It demonstrates that your actions are intentional rather than impulsive. You may desire her, but you are not consumed by the need to possess her. This distinction is vital. Consider an example. Lucas, 29, is on a second date with 27-year-old Zoe. Nervous, he overcompensates, talking too much, laughing too loudly, fidgeting with his glass. He thinks this shows enthusiasm, but Zoe senses anxiety. She feels pressured to respond. This energy stifles attraction. Now imagine Lucas approaching the same date differently. He allows moments of silence, maintains gentle, steady eye contact, listens attentively, and engages thoughtfully. His composed interest guides the interaction rather than dominating it. Zoe feels secure, not pressured, intrigued, not overwhelmed. His calm desire communicates confidence, discipline, and emotional balance. Desire is not about intensity. It is about creating the space for her to perceive your presence and respond naturally. A woman recognizes when a man is composed in his attraction. This gives her the freedom to engage and reciprocate, appreciating the interaction without anxiety. Composed desire also builds trust. By demonstrating that your interest is stable, not desperate, you signal that your composure is unwavering. This stability encourages her to relax and embrace her femininity, deepening the connection. The Stoics captured this principle well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's proximity to a tranquil mind is his proximity to strength." In relationships, this means composed desire reflects internal fortitude, not fragility. It balances wanting with patience and guidance with receptivity. Attraction thrives when anxiety is absent. Think of moments when you felt a strong attraction but resisted acting impulsively. That quiet assurance often felt more powerful than any clever remark or dramatic gesture. Women sense composed desire. It sparks curiosity, fosters imagination, and enhances connection. Desire expressed calmly invites rather than demands. To embody this principle, affirm it, comment, "I choose calm." Let this mark your commitment to projecting composed desire and relinquishing anxious energy. The next concept will explore a subtle shift in mindset that reverses the dynamic entirely, encouraging her pursuit effortlessly. Point 6 is this: embody the poet. Be the poet might suggest dramatic recitations or flashy language, but that is not the essence. To embody the poet is to project a poetic presence, communicating with depth, emotional resonance, and a lingering impact that lasts beyond the conversation. Many men rely on logic, believing that describing their achievements or ambitions will inspire attraction. Yet attraction is not built on facts. It lives in emotion, sensation, and the atmosphere you create. This is the realm of the poet. Being the poet means using words to create imagery and evoke feeling. Instead of saying a sunset is nice, you might describe it as ablaze with color. Instead of asking, "How was your day?" you could ask, "What moment today brought you the most joy?" This transforms simple exchanges into experiences that stir her spirit. Women remember how you made them feel, not the literal words you used. Like a true poet, you arrange common language to touch something deeper, turning conversation into something memorable. The Stoics understood this. Epictetus wrote, "First, define your ideal self. Then act accordingly." Your words should mirror your presence and intention, not serve as hollow attempts to impress. They gain weight because they are born from authenticity and purpose. Overexertion destroys the effect. Poetry emerges organically when you notice her expressions, her laughter, or the way her voice shifts when discussing something she loves. Acknowledge it sincerely, and you are creating poetry. Timing and pace are crucial. Many men rush through conversation, interrupt, or avoid silence. Yet pauses carry their own rhythm. The hesitation before speaking, the focus you offer when she talks, and the gravity of thoughtfully chosen words elevate an ordinary exchange into something memorable. Consider a simple remark someone made that lingered with you, perhaps because of timing, tone, or presence. That is the poet's art. Embodying the poet also requires connection to your own emotions. Many men have been conditioned to suppress feelings, yet a woman can sense when a man is in touch with his emotions while maintaining stability. This blend of strength and openness is paradoxically magnetic. Begin cultivating this skill gradually. Notice beauty in everyday life and express it authentically. Listen actively and respond with full presence, not merely data or facts. Slow your speech, incorporate pauses, and allow her to feel the weight of your attention. You do not need literary skill. You need clarity of perception and the ability to translate that into presence. A poet inspires rather than impresses and creates an environment for attraction without chasing it. Commit to this approach. Reflect on whether your words leave an echo or simply fill space. Affirm your intention by commenting, "I speak depth." This signals your dedication to cultivating presence, connection, and poetic energy in your interactions. Next, we will explore a trait that draws women toward you effortlessly, without the need for verbal persuasion. Point 7 is this: presence outweighs words. Many men assume verbal skill is the key to attraction. They focus on clever openers, witty remarks, or the perfect lines to impress. Yet true attraction is not built on language, it is born from presence. A woman may not remember every word you spoke, but she will never forget how you made her feel. Presence communicates more than any carefully chosen phrase ever could. Consider a practical example. David, 29, is on a date with Emily, 27. He is intelligent, humorous, and articulate, yet he constantly fills every silence with talk. Pauses unsettle him, so he masks them with explanations, jokes, or observations. Though well-intentioned, Emily perceives performance rather than genuine connection. Now imagine Mark at the same event. He speaks less, but listens deeply. He asks thoughtful questions, maintains steady eye contact, and allows Emily to express herself without interruption. His calm attentiveness signals sincere interest and makes her feel seen and valued. By the evening's end, it is Mark she remembers, not David. This illustrates the principle. Presence leaves a lasting impression. Words alone do not dot. Women are drawn to men who can simply be present without overcompensating. Anxiety, over-eagerness, or attempts to impress disrupt your energy and weaken your presence. Conversely, composed, self-assured, men command attention effortlessly. Marcus Aurelius observed, "The mind is colored by its thoughts. Your inner state, whether tranquil or chaotic, radiates outward. Stability and centeredness are felt before a single word is spoken. Presence is not silence for its own sake. It is substance expressed through awareness. Your words carry more weight when they are intentional, not lost in a torrent of chatter. Women are highly sensitive to energy and notice whether your attention is genuine. To cultivate presence, slow down. When she speaks, resist rehearsing your response and simply listen. Embrace pauses. Maintain steady, confident eye contact and center yourself through mindful awareness of your breath and physical state. Imagine if David had approached his date differently. One thoughtful question, attentive listening, and a deliberate pause could have transformed the interaction. Emily would have felt connection, not performance. Presence creates memory. It is the emotional resonance, not the show of intellect, that lingers. Women are drawn to men whose presence outweighs their words. A man who is unhurried, attentive, and comfortable in silence because he is secure in himself. Commit to this principle by commenting, "I choose presence." Let it serve as a personal pledge to prioritize your presence over speech. Next, we will explore a subtle method for generating tension that draws her in effortlessly, without a single explicit request. Point 8 is this: the power of silence. An often overlooked masculine quality is the ability to be comfortable with quiet. Many men fear silence, thinking that any pause signals disinterest or reflects a failure to engage. They rush to fill the space with chatter, jokes, anecdotes, or explanations. Yet silence is not a weakness, it is a strength. Women are highly intuitive. They sense when a man is comfortable with himself versus when he is seeking validation. Confident silence communicates that you are self-possessed, independent, and at ease in unfilled space. A simple pause, a sustained look, or a serene smile can convey more than words ever could. These gestures signal self-control and self-mastery, positioning you naturally as a leader in the interaction qualities women find inherently attractive. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus noted that often there is more safety in silence than in speech. He did not mean muteness, but that silence prevents unnecessary or impulsive disclosures. In attraction, silence allows reflection, composure, and observation. When you resist the urge to fill every lull, an intriguing dynamic emerges. She may lean in, ask more questions, or reveal more about herself, unconsciously investing in the interaction you've shaped. This is not passivity or distance. It is not ignoring her. It is the confidence to allow your presence to carry significance without words. Silence combined with composed body language, steady posture, even breathing, and calm eye contact amplifies its effect. It transforms tension into magnetism and ensures that when you do speak, your words land with purpose and weight. Rather than seeking validation, use silence to generate anticipation and curiosity. Women are drawn not to the man who talks endlessly, but to the one whose presence communicates connection non-verbally, whose calm composure sparks intrigue. This is the essence of mystery, a critical component of attraction. The lesson is clear: stop fearing silence or filling it compulsively. Embrace it. Allow her to sense your calm, to be drawn in, and to engage within the space you create. This distinguishes an ordinary man from one who leaves a lasting impression. Commit to this principle by commenting, "I master silence," marking your readiness to harness its power. Stay tuned, as we will next explore the magnetic force of stillness, subtle yet transformative extension of this principle. Point 9 is this: stillness generates intensity. Many men assume that attraction requires action, more talking, more gestures, more pursuit. The truth is that the most powerful attraction often arises from inaction. Stillness has a remarkable ability to draw a woman in and evoke deep feelings without words. A man who is still, composed, and centered exudes authentic confidence. His calm presence signals that he does not need validation and is secure in his identity. This creates a palpable intensity. Imagine James, 29, at a rooftop bar in Chicago. Instead of flitting nervously between conversations or rushing to impress, he sips his drink slowly, observes the surroundings, and remains grounded. When Sarah, 26, approaches him, James does not feel compelled to dominate the interaction. He listens attentively, pauses thoughtfully, and allows his presence to communicate his confidence. This quiet stillness intrigues her and encourages deeper engagement. This is the intensity of stillness: active, magnetic, and compelling. Drawing her without overt effort, many men misunderstand stillness, equating it with passivity. In reality, it is a deliberate act of holding your ground, letting tension build naturally, and resisting the urge to overcompensate. This generates desire because it creates space for her to sense your energy fully. Stillness is not absence, is a potent form of communication. By relaxing your posture, regulating your breath, and maintaining steady, natural eye contact, you convey desire more powerfully than any rehearsed line ever could. Attraction thrives not only on action, but on the energy you project. Mastering stillness ensures you stand out, creating intensity that outshines men who constantly strive to be noticed. If you recognize this as your advantage, affirm it. Comment, "I own my energy." This marks your commitment to harnessing the magnetic power of stillness. Stay with me as we explore the final piece of this framework, which transforms this energy into lasting and memorable intimacy. Point 10 is this: becoming unforgettable effortlessly. When a man fully embodies his masculine presence, memorability is not something he must manufacture, it emerges naturally. The energy he radiates lingers long after the conversation ends. Many believe being unforgettable requires grand performances, exaggerated gestures, elaborate stories, or constant entertainment. These attempts are fleeting. What truly leaves a lasting impression is the emotion he evokes. She may forget the words, but she will remember the feeling of your presence. The quiet moments where your composure, self-assurance, and authenticity shine often leave the deepest mark. She may not recall every detail of the conversation, but she will remember the steadiness of your gaze, the calm assurance you exuded, and the sense of stability she experienced in your company. Michael, 32, learned this firsthand. He had relied on humor and constant engagement to be memorable, only to discover that while women were entertained, they did not think of him afterward. When he shifted to attentive listening, measured speech, and a calm, grounded demeanor, the result was transformative. Emily, 28, later confessed, "I found myself thinking about you constantly." This is the essence of being unforgettable. It is a visceral experience, not a logical one. The Stoics recognized a similar truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote that one's inner state tints the soul. When your inner world is stable, composed, and powerful, it radiates naturally in all interactions. You do not create a memory. You become one. Effortless memorability is achieved through reduction, not excess. It requires letting go of the need to impress, allowing your presence alone to leave an impact. The less you push, the more lasting your impression. The less you compel, the more she remembers. This is the ultimate expression of masculine presence: to embody, not perform; to radiate, not chase. In doing so, you become the man who lingers in her thoughts long after your encounter, whose energy resonates more profoundly than any words ever could. If this content resonated with you, please subscribe to ensure you don't miss future insights.